All right, Shalom. This is your brother Shamar from Phoenix. With that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BAHASHAM, QUADASH. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity, man. And enduring their harness like a good soldier. And that's what we're going to get into, man. How the scriptures talk about the men of this truth are likened unto soldiers. And the things that we go through is likened unto warfare. And the work that the Lord has got put before us, the mission that He's given us, is likened unto warfare, man, because it's a daily warfare against the principalities and powers of this fucking world, man. The demonic forces of the world. We are fighting that spiritual battle, So we gotta have that soldier mentality, man. Once again, you always gotta, keep yourself in a heightened sense of awareness, man, because you gotta realize that a soldier, he can't participate in the things of the world like everybody else does. He has to have a completely different mindset, and we have to have a completely different mindset. We can't enjoy the things or participate or like the things of this world too much, man. We can't entangle ourselves in the affairs of this life. Because why? Because we're set apart to do this work. We're set apart. We're called to do this work, and so that has to be your top priority on a daily basis. Entangle yourself in the affairs of this life, man. Is not being a good soldier, because that's what the scripture says, man. And with that, I want to get 2 Timothy 2:1. It says, "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is Mashiach Yahawashi, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also." So to faithful men, to men that showed a level of diligence, a level of faithfulness, a level of commitment to this word, man. That's what we're supposed to teach. Who shall able to teach others also. So you can't just cast your pearl into swine, man. The men that are entrusted to do this work, that are entrusted to spread the gospel, you got to have a different mentality than the rest of the world, man. And real quick, I'm going to get 1 Thessalonians 2:4. This is 1 Thessalonians 2:4. And it says, but as we were allowed of Yahawah to be put in trust with the gospel, the good news, to be put in trust to go out there and preach this word, to be given this gift of grace and of knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, even so we speak, not as pleasing men, but Yahawah, which tries our hearts or tries our minds. So being in this truth, you're going to get tried, man. You're going to get put to the test. You're going to, and that's what this war, what this part of this war is about. You're going to see if you entangle yourself in the affairs of this life. Let's go back to 2 Timothy 2:4, man, because you're going to get put to the test. You're going to get, the scripture says you're going to get tried. And that's what happens to a soldier, man. A soldier is constantly tried. He's constantly tested. He constantly has to prove his abilities to keep him sharp, man. It's going back to 2 Timothy 2:4. And it says, "No man that warreth," well, we'll start at the beginning. "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is Mashiach Yahawashi, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, which be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Mashiach Yahawashi." So that hardness comes with being a soldier. That hardness comes with doing this work. That hardness is the things that you got to go through, the things that you got to sacrifice, the things that you got to put yourself through to be in this truth. The things that you got to fight to be in this truth, because this truth is a constant fight every day, man. And the number one thing you're fighting is yourself. You got to constantly, keep yourself and examine yourself, keep yourself in check and examine yourself, man, because you can be your worst enemy. And that's just among the other things that we have to encounter in our daily lives, man, because like the scripture said, the Lord's going to try our hearts, man, or try our minds as it comes into this truth. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, man. So a man that the Lord has chosen to be a soldier, he doesn't entangle himself with the affairs of this life, man. If you go to Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, it showed you how they conduct their warfare, man. I'm gonna get that real quick. Talking about the affairs of this life. It gave you examples of the affairs of their life that men entangled themselves, that excluded them from military service. I'm going to get Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. It says Deuteronomy 21, when thou goest out to battle against thine enemies, and that's what we do. We go out to battle against our enemies. You know, it's a spiritual battle, but it's a battle nonetheless. And see his horses and chariots and a people more than thou. Be not afraid of them. Man, we're outnumbered out there, man. We go out to the highways and hedges. We're outnumbered. You know, we have cops that roll up. You know, we have multitude of people that come and try to contend with us. We have scoffers. But what does the scripture say? Be not afraid of them. For the Lord thy power with thee, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. So you gotta have the mentality, man. You can't be afraid of nothing. You gotta have a certain courage about you. Be strong, therefore. You know what I'm saying? That's what the scripture says. Be of good courage. That's what the scripture says. And strength and courage are what? Those are the hallmark traits of a soldier, man. And hardness is a hallmark trait of a soldier. And it shall be when you are come nigh unto the battle that the priest shall approach and speak unto thy people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts be faint. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Lord your power is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies to save you, man. So that's the mentality we gotta have, man. We gotta have that fear nothing mentality when we go out there in the highways and hedges. You gotta have that fear nothing mentality in doing this work. Because our power is for us, man. He's the one that allows us to do this work through the grace of YAHAWAHSHI, to the grace and power of YAHAWAHSHI, we are allowed to do this work. We are allowed to go on the highways and hedges and break down these scriptures, man. And the officer shall speak unto the people, say, What man is there that has built a new house and not to dedicate? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die and bound other man dedicated. That's talking about the affairs of this life, man. Now, we're not supposed to entangle ourselves in the worries of this life. We're supposed to be mission minded. You know, caring about the things of this world. And what man is he that planted a vine and not yet eaten it? Let him also go and return to his house, that he die in battle, another man eat of it. And what man is there that hath betrothed the wife, not taking it? Let her go and return into his house, lest he die in battle, another man take her. So basically, you're not supposed to be preoccupied with the everyday things of life, man, because the reason that they sent those men home, because they were not going to be fully engaged in the battle, because their mind and their worries and their focus was going to be on the things that they left behind. That's why they were excluded from battle, man. You know, because the Lord wanted men that were going to be completely 100% focused on the battle at hand and not worrying about the house that they just built or the field that they just planted or the woman that they just got, man. And the officer shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return into his house, lest his brethren heart faint as well as his heart. So those that didn't show the courage, that didn't show the integrity, that didn't show the diligence, that didn't show the willingness to do this work, the Lord don't want that, man. Basically, what the scriptures are saying is that in order to be a soldier for YAHAWAHSHI requires full commitment. And with that, I want to get Salakia. Matthew 19 and 29. This is Matthew 19 and 29, and it says, everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life, man. So if we going back to Deuteronomy the 20th chapter, it spoke of a man forsaking a man that man that was called to battle. He had to forsake his house, and a man that was worried about his house, he wasn't allowed to fight. It talked about a man that just got married, forsaking his, a man just got married. You know, he has to go. He's not allowed to participate in the battle because he'd be worrying about his woman. So those were the things that excluded you from battle, man. Worrying about these things, the entangling yourself in the affairs of this life. And it talks about land. But the scripture says in Matthew 9:29, that every man that forsake his houses or brethren or sister, father, mother, wife, or children, lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So we read in Deuteronomy 20th chapter how a man would have to not have any connection to those things, man. His mind, his heart, his being had to be focused on the battle. And that's what Yahawashi is saying in this chapter, man. She's saying that you have to be 100% focused and not entangle yourself in the affairs of this life, man. And that means that you don't, you don't. If you have a wife, you don't. No, man. If you have a wife, you care about her, and you feed your children. But this is talking, it's talking about commitment. It's talking about your commitment to this truth. Basically, what it's saying that it requires a full commitment on your part to be in this truth, man. To engage in the battle that the Most High has put before us, man. The battle of doing this work. It requires a full commitment, Salakia. And with that, I want to get 2 Corinthians 10:4. Because for some men, they're going to be required to give up women or children or lands, or jobs, or, there's certain sacrifice that each man has to make according to his walk in his truth, that he has to make, and he has to give up in order to participate in this truth, in order to complete a complete soldier in this truth, man. And it's going to be a different thing for every man. Not every man is going to be called to give up his family, but some men, the Lord is going to take away their family. Some men, the Lord is going to take away lands and jobs and possessions. It depends on whatever the Lord requires of you. He's going to take away whatever is necessary for you to do his work. And for some men, it's difficult for them to give those things up, man. Anyways, I'm going to go 2 Corinthians 10:4. And it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahawah to pulling down of strongholds." So that's what we do, man. We bring out this word, and it brings down the false doctrine of this world, man, through the truth of the scripture, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahawashi, and having in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Do you look on the things after the outward appearance? If any man trusts himself that he is Yahawashi, let him think this again, that he is Yahawashi, even so are we Yahawashis. So basically, man, the truth is, going back to verse 5, our warfare is his truth, man. Our weapons is his scriptures. And we do this work to the intent of pulling down strongholds, of going against the philosophies of this world, man. With that, I'm going to get Ephesians 6:12. This is Ephesians 6:12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take ye unto you the whole armor of Yahawah, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand," man. And if you go into the chapter of Ephesians, it tells you what that armor is. And that's something that we got to meditate on, because the scriptures liken this truth as to being in a war, and to running a race, and fighting a fight. So basically, and to doing work. So basically, this truth requires effort. If you really want to break it down to its simplest terms, everything that is true, it requires effort. It requires works. It requires labor. It requires battle. It requires the trying of yourself, man. And that's things that we got to meditate on to better equip us to stand bold in this truth, man. That was just a quick lesson. Most High willing, it was edifying. With that, I want to say Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Shalom.